Hello, hello, hello. Might have messed up with the ads there, so I'll have to snooze them a little bit. Not sure what happened there. I just did a stupid, so I'm sorry. Hello, 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 everyone. How are you doing? How was your day? I hope you're having a great day. I'm hyped. I'm hyped for watercolors. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute or a few months. Kind of both. So I guess we're just going to start now. Okay, let's go over to the arting part. I might need to restart the client here. Ah, there we go. Just look at this. I'm in a bit of a bad spot. I have to move myself. I have to move myself here. It just looks kind of weird. Give me a sec. There we go. Now you can actually see the whole thing and my potato head. Everything's fine. Everything's alright. Not quite. To adjust my cam, I kind of put that right there. Because I was hoping that I'm getting a better angle from there. And since my screen monitor is not in the way right now, I can just sit it onto kind of a shelf right here. Because I have a little bit of a setup I'm using just to get my webcam in a good position. Better light? Actually, it's not much different than last time. I just positioned it a little bit better. But what I might want to do is change the light. Wait, no. Change the light temperature if I can find the button for it. There we go. So we actually have a light that allows me to have the white paper. So I can actually see my colors properly. I just don't... I really don't like warm light when doing my artwork. Yep, simply switched on. Brr, cold. Yes, cold light. I understand. But it works better for me. It works a lot better for me. So, today we have this, and this morning I also prepared a little bit more because I had another sketch in my old sketchbook or a few sketches in my old sketchbook that I kind of wanted to turn into stickers as well. So I actually inked that, and I have these little fellas. Little kodamas, because I just wanted to draw kodama. I love these little guys. I hope you love them too. So these are going to be the two things that we're going to watercolor. I'm not sure if we're going to manage both of them. I hope we do, because I kind of want to try to keep it somewhat simple. Let's hope. Let's hope that it works out. But I at least want to get one of the two done today. That's the absolute minimum, and I really need to turn down the music, else I cannot think right now. Much better. It's always the same. So overjoyed to... John, thank you very much for the 200 bits. I'm so overjoyed you're on right now, and that I'm punctual today and won't miss anything. Good. I'm happy that you're punctual as well. Okay, let's hit that Second snooze. I have one more snooze left. I'm so sorry that I messed up with the ads. It's kind of annoying. At least I think it's annoying, but well, it is what it is. So, I have my watercolor right up here. Also with a pipette. Because pipettes are really great if you need to do washes. I have kind of a selection of a few brushes. So we're gonna have those two for details, and these are going to be for the big washes. This one especially is really nice. Da Vinci is a brand that I can definitely recommend if you need a good brush, but it's going to be a bit pricey. Be warned. Be warned, guys. Good art supplies are pricey, but they're definitely worth their money. So excited to see you painting first time. Did you really not catch me when I was doing that oil painting? I guess that was before your time. Huh. Interesting. Only digital. Huh. Well, that's good to know. I favor Faber-Castell, but to be honest, Faber-Castell is a pretty good brand when it comes to colored pencils. When it comes to other stuff, I'm not a fan. Oh, the last piece of equipment that I need, spritzy bottle, because I need to pre-wet my colors so they are easier to work with. So they can pre-activate, kinda. And I just have to pick my colors as I need them. That pipette I'll need later. Technically, I also have one of these water brushes in my little thing, little cassette. I have a very precise pointy brush for ink lining from Faber-Castell, and I have it for years. Well, for ink lining, I prefer either fine liners or I go full-blown dip pen. But lining with brush is not really my cup of tea. Maybe brush pen, yes, because that's a bit easier to control, but full-blown brush, not really. Also, I have a set of incredibly cheap, very long liner brushes from the dollar store, euro store. Take it however you want. They also serve a pretty good do a pretty good service. There we go. English. All right, so to start off, I have to think about what kind of colors I want to do. Took a brush for ink lining because I came from the calligraphy direction to drawing manga. Ooh, that's interesting. That's definitely a different, an unexpected way to approach it. So I'll add a little bit of water to my red and look at this. I think I want to go for that muted green right there. I could actually mix a little bit of that green in here to make it work better, but I'm definitely gonna have 1 or 2 or 3 pools of water up here that I'll need. All right, I'll do the last snooze. The last snoozery now. Not that I'm happy about it. I wish I wouldn't have messed up with the ads, but well, it is what it is. So I definitely want to have that red. But I have to be incredibly careful because, as the name already says, these watercolors are Inktense. I think I also got these from either an upgrade or a scroller box. I'm not entirely sure which one it was of the two. But I really do love me those little subscription boxes. Because they actually have me face art supplies that I'd never actually try. Let's go with a light pink wash right here. Detailed work, definitely not for me. Fair? I'm often enough also quite impatient when it comes to doing detailed work, but when it comes to my art, I'm a different person almost. I guess I only like to get into detail when I'm actually interested in it. Oh hey, that sounds like ADHD in a nutshell. Who would have thunk? But yeah, this is going to be a pretty chill stream. I mean, having watercolor in the first place, or doing watercolor in the first place, can be an incredibly chill experience. You have to be patient most of the time. I'm clumsy too. Don't worry, warlocks. I'm especially clumsy when it comes to me moving my body. And you really don't want to know how many times I actually managed to destroy keyboards because I just tipped over my coffee. So you're not alone with this. I have bruises that I don't even know where I got them. Just because I bumped into something and forgot like right after. Then I'm just sitting on my bed or just take a shower and I'm just like, where the hell did that come from? What did I do there? What happened? So I feel you. I absolutely feel you. That brush might be a little bit too big. Especially for those really tight spots on the tips of those petals. But that's what we got the other brushes for. And as long as the wash is still wet, it's easy to actually push around the color. Just as soon as it's drying, it's going to be a problem. Oh, this is going to be a little bit too dark, I guess. But yeah, when it comes to clumsiness, I'm the same. I'm pretty much the same. So don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. The think I want to make this one blue for the simple reason that I don't want to get too close to the inspiration, which I think is the most stinky plant on Earth. At least as far as I know. Yeah, I think this one's actually inspired by the most stinky plant on Earth. And no, I'm not talking about the durian, but I think it's called a corpse flower? Because it kind of smells like decaying meat. Which in and of itself is already scary. The leaf is so damp that I would have already smeared everything 3 times over if I had put new paint on the brush. Well, that's actually how washes work. Kind of just putting one flat surface of color on top. But as long as you keep your distance, you'll be fine. It just takes a little bit of practice, that's all. Don't really like watercolor much. The lack of consistency and opacity ruined most of my early creations in school, yet I was not allowed to use anything else. I had to learn how to like watercolor. I had to learn how to like any kind of paint because I was impatient. I was always very impatient with myself. That's also why I started doing digital art beforehand. Also, we have ads in a little bit, so we can talk about that then. The thing is, one medium that I'm still at war with, that I still hate with an absolute passion, is acrylics. I cannot work with them for the simple reason that they dry way too quickly. I do not like it. I like to take my time. I like to push paint around, and I can't do that with acrylics. Because I have to hurry. I have to hurry. Not I want to hurry, I have to hurry. And that's something I really don't like, if something forces me to hurry up. In the end, I'm usually pretty quick with my work anyway, but you get what I mean. To actually help this dry, in the meantime, I'm first taking apart my whole desk on the side, but I like to use this. It's a heat gun. You can use a normal hair dryer, but I like to use this one because it's pretty easy to handle. I have it always right here, and its purpose is just made for this. We got ads for a little bit, so let's just put that on, and I'll turn off my microphone because this thing is loud, and I don't want to do that to you. I really don't. Warlock? Warlocks, stop beating yourself up. It's a learning process. And if you keep just talking bad about yourself, you'll never figure out how it works. Alright, that's dry. It's going to happen quite a lot because I have that weird tendency of using way too much water. And having a medium as hard to predict as watercolor is a bit... you have to get used to it. You really have to get used to it. Either the paint would have run or the paper would have burned. It's kind of hard to burn the paper if you're using something that's already kind of made for it. Let alone that burning paper is not too hard. Water would have run somewhat unlikely because the blow dryer is not that strong. So it's kind of hard to get that to happen. Man, of course I would have used a hot air gun. Be kinder to yourself, warlocks. You deserve it. But yeah, it takes some getting used to. And as soon as you figure out how it actually works, a whole different world is opening up for you. Just kind of sucks that at school, in art class, you're not really taught how these things work. So no wonder you're getting frustrated with the medium. I was frustrated with watercolor the whole time until I just had some YouTube tutorials, which hasn't been too long ago, to be fair. And we keep in mind that the whole YouTube tutorial thing hasn't really come into the picture until the mid-2010s. All right, let's wash that off. Get a bit of a bigger brush because those big leaves really need a bit more than just that teeny tiny brush over there. Also, I'm not perfect when it comes to my watercolor washes either. As you can see, and here and there you can kind of see some of the color poking out. The thing is, I don't mind. I absolutely don't mind that happening. Takes some getting used to, but at some point you're just sitting there like, okay, what happened has happened. And I completely forgot to actually hit the record button. What happened has happened, so gotta live with it. I guess that's kind of a mindset that you have to earn at some point. If you can't change it, if you can't control it, then just let it do its thing. Still find it impressive to use such a large brush. I have smaller ones, but I want to cover a little bit more ground in a short time. The thing about brushes is you usually don't use the full brush to paint. You just use the tip. So you have just that very thin line that you can drag around. I mean, if you're looking at this like so, you have very little surface. If you're holding the brush like this, and you can cover white surfaces. So it really depends on how you hold the brush. Then it's much easier to figure out how to use those big brushes for those. It's not really super small of a surface, but you get the idea. Just have to know what part of the brush has which shape, and then you're pretty much fine. Now for these little fuckers here, I really don't want to go for a big brush, because then I would simply go insane. I think my avatar really doesn't like me doing the recording. Ah! So I'm just going with the small one. Might be a little bit too much. I need to be careful because this one has that weird habit of having a few synthetic hairs that just poke out, and then they just want to paint if I hold them downwards. Which I kind of want to prevent. Since we have so much red now, I could technically mix a kind of flesh tone for the outside of this. So might as well do that. All we need is to turn this a lot more orange. A lot more orange. And then add a little bit of blue to mute to mute this rather strong orange. So I'm just going in here just a little bit, maybe a little more, right there. And then you already noticed that it's going a bit more into the browns, right there. It's a little dark, so if I just want to lighten that up, I'll be using just the white of the paper. And we have a lot lighter tone to work with. There is no rhyme on orange. Are you sure about that? Pirate I was meant to be, trim the sails and roam the sea. Yo ho, pirates are free. But what's with a mélange? I mean, okay, if you pronounce it German / I guess French. Goddamn French. And it's kind of easy to get a rhyme. That's not a clear rhyme. Oh, come on. Do you have to count P's right now? Do you have to be one of those sticklers? Rhyming is an art form, and art has to be free. There's a video where Eminem shows a lot of rhymes on that. Well, Eminem is also the king of rhyme. Cannot tell me otherwise. If I want to get rid of some of the color, I'll just tap off the color I got. And then I can just go in with the brush and suck it right up. Super easy to work with as soon as you know what you're doing. Also, can actually do that little lucky clover right there. You can actually add a lot more of the color in the middle to get a little bit of a gradient. It's gonna take a long time to dry though. Alright. Let's fill up that guy here so the rest can dry as it is. I'd want to go for that blue here, because the other one is just a little bit too strong. Especially if I also want to fill in those eyes here. Watercolor painting mostly is just let the paint do its thing. If it wants to drip somewhere, try to work with it instead of against it. I wish I could actually use my glittery kind of paints for this, but there's no way in hell I'll manage to ever print something in glitter. I actually would have to have that printed instead of printing that myself, and I really wanna do all myself for now. When it comes to the whole sticker thing. Because it kind of feels good to be in the middle of the process, you know? It's a really nice feeling to know that you made this, you did this. That's also why I don't... Why the hell is there a knock at my door now? I don't know, Warlocks. Good luck. Glitter is a complicated matter in the EU anyway. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, there are ways to make nice and shiny stickers. But that would be a bit more work, and do I really want that? Well, I wish I could use glitter for some things. This is going to be a little bit annoying when the paper just keeps warping. If it just keeps doing that, I might actually tape it down. Wee shite. That was not my intention. So let's just pick that back up. Maybe even pick it up with a big brush. It's almost like nothing ever happened. Can I just put that underneath here? Yeah, that should work as well. Not sure if I want to make this silver gray or if I want to go gold there. It could work nicely with gold, but I need to tape this down. I don't like it, but I need to do it. Where's my painter's tape? There. Also, apparently, terms of service on Twitch have changed. Nicer scum from the ups. Oh, put a nice dent in my car door. Oh, that sucks. Oh god, warlocks. Try to chill. That anger is not worth your energy. Do something nice. And then get their insurance information. Because angry minds have never solved a problem well. They may solve problems, but not in a way you want to. It usually backfires. The car is only 6 months. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts. That really hurts. I'm so sorry for that. That sucks balls in several ways, and none of them is good. Probably should have taped that down earlier. Well, already too late. Still works. So why should I complain? I think I want to have a little bit more of a reddish here on the waterline. So let's try to get that going. I'll just mix it into my flesh color from earlier. Might need to add a little bit of water there though. So we don't want to have it too intense. Same color we're also going to use for the tear duct. Now this is a really thin one. I might actually finally go for this brush here. It's one of my thinner ones, but not the thinnest I have. This is going to be so much detail. So I need to be a bit more careful here. But as soon as we're done with this little line of dragging a hair behind us, everything's all right. Everything's good. And that should actually dry fairly quickly because there is not much water in there. Also, I kind of need to look to the side like this so I can actually see if it's still wet or not. I think I can work with that. I might need to fetch my... Where did I put the... There's my toilet roll. I always have a toilet roll at my desk. So that if I have a watercolor palette that needs cleaning, I can just go in there and take it all out. Especially if I need to do it in a hurry. We still need the blue, we might still need the reddish orange, but what I need right now is a something that's kind of close to a gold, but not quite gold. So we definitely need some of the ochre, some of the yellow. I might even dip into the blue a little bit, but not too much. A little bit into the red. That could technically, let's see. Well, that's getting pretty close. I'm tempted to dip a little bit more into the blue though. A little bit more into the red. Oh, that's probably already... No, that's actually getting me exactly where I wanted to. Good. That's awesome when color mixing actually works the way you want it to. Feels so satisfying. Especially because I really just do it by feeling my way through it. Might need to pick it back up again as soon as it had a little chance to dry. Because it seems to be still a bit too dark. So we're using a brush again. Just pick up the excess paint as we need. There we go. I kind of like the dark dots here though. It's also satisfying to watch. That's good. That's exactly what I want. And you are as satisfied as I am. Sounds a little bit wrong. Oh, whatever. It'll be fine. And that's somehow reassuring right now. What, me not knowing what I'm doing, even though I kind of do know what I'm doing? Or that I'm just feeling my way through mixing colors? It's always been that way. Like, I do somewhat have the color circle in the back of my mind all the time, but I'm not actively thinking about it. Now, I do want to have some kind of a purple. And I don't want to use the purple that I actually have on the palette. Also, I'm kind of noticing that I might need to turn up the saturation. I have the feeling that this is not... There, that looks much better. That actually looks much more like it. Because those colors are quite intense. So that's actually what we want. I also do want a red cable down here. Kind of going full on RGB, but I will have to be careful. Because these two could now mix as long as the red is still too close. So I might need to pay a bit more attention. This is going to mix one way or another, so guess I'll have to live with it right there. Then I'll leave just a little bit there and there in white, just to have a bit of a shiny effect, I guess. Because if you want to do watercolor well, you just put color on top of color on top of color. But when you need white, you don't use white. You just try to leave as much of the paper without color as you can. Welcome to Watercolor 101 by Feldy, that actually has no idea what she's doing. She always keeps saying, even though she actually does. I was asked about you and your channel in another stream, and I found that describing you like any art channel won't quite do you just. Aww. Would you be fine being advertised as appealing to neurodiverse and neurospicy audience? Of course! I mean, for fuck's sakes, I am neurospicy myself, so why should I not be appealing to this neurospicy? You can also describe me as an old artsy fartsy girl. Okay, girl might be a bit of a weird way to describe me, considering that I'm a grown woman. Also, I ordered a few new clothes. Because I really wanted a skirt with pockets. So I just ordered one. I love it. I love having pockets on my skirt. So great. Old is not the word coming into mind when I think of you. Okay. My heart is young. My shell not so much. Let's put it like that. Now I do want to have a bit of purple. Also, I want to have dark eyebrows for the one down here. So let's put that on there. But I want to keep the rest in a bit of a very light tone. So we'll keep it just porcelain white. Now, stuff like this is a bit more difficult to paint. Thin, extremely thin stuff I do not like to paint at all. Still, I do it. Gotta have to live with it, I guess. Alright, I think we have the base colors down. Kind of need to wait for those eyebrows to dry. Or do I need to wait for it? No. Let's not wait for it. It's just my cable management is suboptimal. Suboptimal is probably the ideal way to describe it. And that's also because I'm kind of running out of... Oh, I better mute myself. It's also because I'm kind of running out of energy plugs? No, that's not the right word. Power outlets! Power outlets, that's the right word. I'm kind of running out of those. My bed slash sofa is over there, and there's one power plug behind it that I never use because how would I? Then I have over there like 2 plugs that are kind of hard to reach, so I had to use extension cords. And I think I still have one on that corner that pretty much powers my whole nightstand. And that's about it. That's all the power plugs that I have in my whole living slash work slash sleeping room. I need a different apartment, but I can't afford it. Ah! So annoying. I really wish I could afford a bit of a bigger apartment. Well, simply mill 5 recesses into the table, install sockets. No! No! Well, you need a different apartment because it's tiny in here. And I live at the outskirts. I'm living on the outskirts of my town, which is annoying because I have way too much time to waste on just getting somewhere. I'm kind of walking like 20 minutes just to town center to get my groceries done. If there's no bus going, which happens just once an hour, unless it's a Sunday or a holiday, then yeah, good luck with that. Just sucks balls that I can't get anywhere and I can't get my groceries delivered. You won't find an affordable apartment within any city nowadays. I wish I could just have an apartment that is at least not as tiny. Also kind of because I want a cat. And having a cat with this teeny tiny space here, that would just be animal abuse. I don't want to do that to a kitty cat. I've asked whether you considered Berlin. Hell no, not even 10. I'm a Saxonian. Are you crazy? People from Berlin and Saxonians hate each other. Might as well go for a suicide commando. Also want a cat, and my apartment is also not large enough. So you kind of understand me there. Alright, for the shading, I'm kind of tempted to mix up a rather muted purple that's going a bit more into the blues. That's not true, I'm from Berlin, my family is from Saxony. Well, then you're one of the few. But it used to be a bit of an issue between the Saxonians and the people from Berlin. Like, there was a bit of a... between the two states. Alright, let's see if that's going to... It's actually pretty nice, but I want more of this. Can I please have this a bit darker now? It's too red. There we go. That looks a lot better. So no, Berlin, that no Berlin. Of course not. No, 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 no. It's beauty of Rhineland. 85 square meters, souterrain for... Oh. Seriously? Seriously? I don't care about souterrain. I would go for a souterrain apartment anytime. I already lack the sunlight. Like I have like 2 windows there and right behind me. And I barely get any sunlight here. Because I'm right at the edge of a forest, so there's no sun coming in. It sucks balls. But it is what it is. It is what it is. You'd rather live in a cellar in Rhineland than in the city of Berlin. I don't want to be in Berlin, for fuck's sakes. Hell nah. I'm allergic to the sun, so fine for me. Yeah, it has its perks to have a souterrain apartment when you're already allergic. I actually wanted to do a thing about Bob. Just a second. Yeah, I wanted to do shading. I don't want to be in Berlin is really a strange thing to say for any English-speaking artist. It's probably because I was in Berlin once for a few days, and that was more Berlin than I could ever take. It was enough. Also, I really don't want to see that one grandma of mine, which actually lives there. I really don't want to see her because she... Every time I think of her, it makes me mad. And as long as you ventilate properly, everything is fine. Exactly. Alright, this is actually a little bit too dark. Let's just say I have part of my family in Berlin. And she messed up hard and hasn't apologized since then. So I don't want to see her. I don't want to hear from her. And even my mom really likes to give me the gifts that she's sending towards her that are meant for me. I don't want to have him. And I get him anyway. That woman has never, ever gave a damn fart about me. Then she insults me by just trash talking me towards my mom. And then she thinks she's not even getting confronted about it. Like, no. Fuck you. Unless you apologize, I'm not going to care at all about you. You didn't care about me as well. So why should I give a fuck now? And yes, I'm still mad about that, even though it's been like, let me think, 15 years. I'm still mad at her about that. The character you described could be my mother too. I see. Let alone that she put some social rules onto my mom that I still don't understand until today. Like the whole a child has to call their parents, but the other way around, yeah, why? Why? Is it so hard to call your child? And now I'm not talking about my mom. It's just the rule that apparently my grandma set up. That one grandma. Just doesn't make sense to me. I have a life. Wasn't Berlin 25 years ago when it was still good? Then it was, even then it was borderline, but the clubs were good. I mean, sure, I'm pretty sure that goth clubs are dying out one way or another, so not going to have a great time in Berlin one way or another. I'm sorry that I went on such a rant, but I'm just still mad. Probably should let it go by now, but I'm still mad about it. Because she did not even bother to apologize. Or even acknowledge that she fucked up. Clubs are dying in Berlin for higher rents and nobody being able to afford an apartment and clubbing the same time anymore. Yeah. I mean, technically you should think I'm too old for clubbing, but I kind of miss the old days. When you're just going out. And just dance to the music that makes you feel like you are more alive than before. Even though it's about death. Or other stuff you just sing about when you're in a post-punk band. Well, you said you had more than enough Berlin at your last visit and you didn't even meet me. That's harsh. Oh well. I just think it's stressful being there. I mean that the capital city of my state is already stressful enough. Oh, it's kind of nice down here. So if Berlin were burning and I had water, I would drink it. Ah! I appreciate your mindset there. No, it's not that bad. I don't hate this. I don't hate the city. It's just too much for me. That's all. Hey all, how you doing? Yes, Feldy hands. I'm working. I'm working on some nice shading here. I've been born there. Are you sorry for that too? I guess that's bad luck. I guess that's just really bad luck. Oh wait, I actually wanted to have a bit more of an intense red. Ooh, that's a bit too much. In the middle of those leaves, so I might actually add that. I think that was too much. That was a little bit too much, but I could actually mix that into really nice reddish purple. Nobody can do anything about it, it's just suboptimal. Yep, exactly. Just like we can't do much about the way our brains are built. Doesn't mean that we shouldn't learn to work with it. At least we get our train stations constructed on time. Oh, tell me about it. But, you guys really struggle with building those airports. How long did it take? I think we're kind of tying on that one. Like you're struggling with your airports and we are struggling with our train stations. Oh, we have ads in a little bit. And I completely forgot to record. Okay, I think I need an ad break. I think I do need an ad break. I guess you'll have to download that from the stream then. I keep forgetting turning the recording back on. Just a bit. The airport started construction at around the same time like your train station. Okay. Okay, you got me. You got me. It's fair. We only have problems with people from Saarland. No, they already have enough problems of their own. And they know it. They definitely know it. One problem being right next to France. The French will hate me. That's fine. Feeling is mutual. Okay, we got ads. We got ads. Why did I forget to record this? Why do you have a problem with all three families of the all three families? Oh, you're evil, John. Oh, you're evil, and I love it. Beautiful. 3? It's only 1. Jeez, Warlocks, you're not better. Think if I could choose which state, which land of Germany I would want to live in, it's gonna be a tough choice. Hi, Juggler! How are you doing? I am doing great. I'm doing watercolor. And I keep forgetting to push that record button. Because I'm a stupid. I'm a stupid and I'm a forgetful. But I need water. Water. The good stuff. From the tap. my god, my internet is dying. Oh! Have a good lurk. Let me go see which dog has pulled the power plug. Good luck! You have a minute. Might need to check on my battery real quick. Hello? Oh, it's still doing good. Doing pretty good. 82%. Not much to complain about. All right. We're pretty close to ending, being through with the ad break. There we go. We're back from the ads. This time I'm not forgetting to push the record button. What did I want to do? Ah, yes. This. Let's see what kind of... I think I want to get even more red in here. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. Just the power wire hangs low enough, it gets caught in their nose when they try to sniff it. Maybe you should just try to hang it a little bit higher then. If you're already aware of that. Watercolors indeed, juggler. Because I felt like doing traditional art for the next sticker sheet. Because it looks kind of cool. You have all the textures in there. As a person with no driving license, I don't have much options to live in. But I'd love to live in either Altville or Realm of Dublin. I mean, that would be an option if it was my choice within Europe. To be fair, I'd still go for the Netherlands, even though someone made it a little bit sour, but I still love the country. And no, it's not because of the weed. Just like the people there. They're direct. They have a bit of a weird sense of humor that I really do like. And if they are fed up with something, then you know. If they are really fed up with something, then you know. I love that. And to be fair, I'm more a fan of medium cities, like not small towns, but more if I would have to, it's kind of hard to compare without actually doxing my location, so I rather not. It's not for the weed, but for the people. Because they sell you weed. No, it's not about that, actually. That's the funny thing. Like, every time I actually went to the Netherlands, I have not been once in a coffee shop. Oh, I got a little something from a host when I went to an Airbnb. That woman was cool. I still follow her on Instagram. Wonder how she and her little son are doing. Really liked her. And apparently I was one of the few people that her little son liked. Like, he was about 2 or 3 years old. And apparently he liked me because I was leaving him alone. I was not trying to go which I already don't like to do with kids. I prefer them to approach me instead of the other way around. Because I don't know how to deal with small children. I don't know how to small children. As soon as they can speak in full sentences and actually express their needs, children are great. If they can't even put together 2 words to save their life, yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know how to child. It's too much. But that kid was great. And I just kept my healthy distance. I guess kind of sometimes it helps when you're kind of treating them like tiny adults. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Just depends on the situation. I also keep my distance to adults, so I guess that was a good call. You don't need to say 2 words to save their lives because they simply cry. Yeah, and that's where I'm just going like, I don't know what you want from me. I need a sentence. I need words to understand you. I like children, but I have a hard time dealing with babies as well. Yeah, that's exactly that. I don't know what to do with babies. I don't know what to do with them. I always get told as soon as you become a mother, you will understand your baby. But I'm just seeing mothers with their crying babies and I feel like how the hell do they do that? How do they know exactly what their child needs? I have no clue. It's a mystery to me. But that's fine. Because I don't need to know. I'm not made to be a mother. You know what I'm made to be doing? Mentor people that can actually talk. Express where there's when they can express where they are stuck, where they need help. I'm absolutely happy to help. If you can't even put 2 words together, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not your person to approach. And I know that sounds weird, but it is what it is. Oh, the funny thing is, my great-grandmother was the exact same way. No idea how she managed to procreate, but as far as I heard from my mom, my great-grandmother was just the same way. She couldn't take very small children either. She didn't know how to small children either, so I don't know, maybe it's in the family. Maybe it's on my mother's side. Well, that would explain quite a few things. They just shouldn't have footballs. Oh, you mean small children shouldn't have footballs, I guess? I'm kind of trying to get a bit of a gradient here because that shadow here is going to be pretty harsh. But if I'm doing it right, I can actually manage to get a little bit of a gradient in there. All I need to do is getting myself a dry, somewhat clean brush. That should actually already be enough. And then I can just pick up a little bit of the paint. Probably going to need a bit more over there. I think I'm kind of confused. Warlocks, I'm a little confused what you mean. You might need to explain. Just getting a little bit hard with those because these watercolors are advertised as being a bit harder to lift. I think that should still work out. Just need a little bit more pigment here and there. Okay. Still has a confuse. Guess it's alright. See if I can maybe get a bit of a softer Transition here. It's not going to be perfect, but I want to have a little bit of a softer thing here going. Can actually mix a little bit of red here and there. It's also kind of fun to just mix in an extra color, especially when we're talking watercolor, because then you can hue shift in the middle of the wash, and that's really fun to work with. I have an itch. I'm itching for critter in my pen tablet. Do it! Do it! If the itch is there, go scratch it. Oh, I really do like that. Maybe we can even make it softer than that by adding just a little bit of water right around the edges. Kind of want to keep that little border there. Do it, John! You're tearing me apart, Lisa! Wait, no. No, wait, no. That's wrong. Can I still save something right there? No, that's just going to be a bit more soft. But yeah, I kind of like that hard edge here. This just doesn't want to dry up. It's weird. She says, and then puts even more water onto it. I know that you like me, John. Else you wouldn't be here. Am I right or am I right? You need a fan. I mean that thingy which blows air. Right now I'm good when it comes to air supply, oxygen supply. I think I want to have a second layer here. Because this needs to get a bit darker. I still need to keep, yeah, I kind of need to keep track of that because that shadow here is still not quite dry, so I have to be a bit more careful with my hand. Sucks a little bit that I'm right-handed. Like I'm in certain ways I am ambidextrous. I can use both hands in certain cases. Writing and painting is none of them. When it comes to eating, I'm kind of ambidextrous. Like I hold my cutlery however it suits best. Sometimes I do cut with scissors in my left. But when it comes to writing and drawing, it's my right hand. She's very dominant when it comes to that. I think one can watch a channel without special fondness of the creator, but in this case I have special fondness for the artist. Oh, that's adorable. Thank you very much. I'm not ashamed to admit, even if it pains a little, as I am very aware of the parasocial nature of this relation. Yeah, okay. So no job for a blow dryer. Not quite. I just let it dry. To be fair, John, I'm still in this phase where viewers can still become close friends. I'll probably have to reevaluate my relationship to my audience, like when you're more than just 3 people at a time, every time. I think if we're in the range of, I don't know, 20 people each stream, then I might need to evaluate the whole parasocial thing about it. Right now, it's kind of like a few friends just listening in. Why ever? Because they kind of like what I'm doing, just want to support by being here. Even if a few of you just are or have come here without even knowing who I am. Still a very small circle, so you can kind of zone out that there's a parasocial element to streaming. It's gonna be kind of weird if I have like 20 to 30 people at once watching me. Yeah, I get it, but I'm one of the first, so I think it wouldn't have to change in a way. I just mix in a crowd and get lost. But I don't mess anything up. It's kind of hard to mess stuff up with me, that's the thing. You actually have to fuck up real hard to mess anything up with me. I mean, John, you've seen my friend Discord. It takes a while. It really takes a lot to get me into a mood of, you know what, you're not my friend anymore. That's really hard of a state to get to. You really have to be an absolute abusive asshole. Or start fights with me for absolutely no frickin' reason, but just deliberately misinterpreting or misunderstanding me. It takes a lot. to actually make me go, yeah, how about you? Fuck you. Noted. Good that you noted it. Say, I'm quite forgiving. Oh, that's not great. I think I can still save this by picking up the color right there. That should do the trick. Yeah, I guess that should work. The point is, I don't want to mess up because your friendship means a lot. Oh, oh, God damn it! Why do you have to be so adorable? It's unfair. Stop it. Looking pretty good at this point. Might still need a little bit more shading on that petal right there. So let's see if I can ruin a few people's day in the dungeon browser. Good luck! Don't be too mean, warlocks. Cause I'm John. That's Aramaic. Okay? I do not believe you, but okay. At least you're trying. Haven't been playing anything N64 for a long time. That was obviously a joke. Yeah, I saw it at the LOL. The LOL told me that this was a joke. Quite confidently. I was just running with it. Might need a second layer of shade here. Because for my taste, this is still too light. So let's add a little bit more darkness to this. Also not quite sure what I'm doing here yet. Because there needs to be some kind of shading in that eye. For the lols indeed. Agree with the shading, I'm just unsure if I can be done with watercolor. Of course it can, I just have to keep layering on top, that's all. That's the cool thing about watercolor. You can go darker by just layering, by just keeping on layering. You probably will not achieve a pure black like you could with inks or acrylics or gouache. What's your opinion on gouache? You want to know what my opinion on gouache is? Give me a minute. I'll quickly stop recording for this one because that's going to take a while. So my opinion on gouache is I'm kind of addicted. And that's just one tub full with gouache paints. There's more. Give me a sec. I also have these. They're actually pretty good. They come in little tubs. Kind of like the Hemi gouaches. I actually sanded the tops so I can paint a little swatch onto these. Is that the good Paris green? You want to know what I think about gouache? You want to know what I think about gouache? We're not done yet. That's not the last one. But wait, there is more. And that's a bit of a controversial one because I ranted about acrylics earlier, but you want to know what I think about gouache? As I said, I'm kind of addicted. Because it has everything. It has everything about acrylics that I like. That they are opaque. That I can have really nice coverage. But it also has the benefits of watercolor. That you can thin it down. You can work with it after the fact. That's exactly what I need to work with paint. I can take my time. If it dries quickly, I can still reactivate it. And I don't have to worry. It's great! I love gouache! A little bit too much, I guess. So yeah, that's a little X-course into my gouache paint collection. Oh, that's going to... Okay, that's one palette falling down. That's not good. Oh. Tidying that up is going to be a pain in the butt. Yeah, that broke a lot. That broke off a lot. That's not good. I guess I'll have to live with that right now. Oh no, not the opera pink! Ah! Why are you sorry? That's fine. It was me being stupid. It was me being stupid. It's alright. Oh, there's a little piece of gray. It's good that the stuff is all dried up. It would be much more of a mess if it was still kind of liquidy. So yeah, that's my X-course on all the gouache paint I have. I hope you enjoyed it. Even though it turned out to be a bit of a mess. Well, it is what it is. Let's summarize. Shading with gouache would be an option. No, it wouldn't. For the simple fact that I kind of want to conserve the outlines that I used. What could be an option though, when scanning I can actually just turn up the saturation and everything's gonna be fine. Just need to do a little bit of color correction and you wouldn't even notice. Wait. I forgot. Now please have a little bit of a closer look into this. So you can actually see what I'm doing. I also noticed that there is a water drop. I don't want that to fall onto the painting, because that would be an absolute mess to clean up. Really don't like that. Now that the green is on, you can see the veins of the leaves. I didn't even notice that yesterday. Yeah, I did quite thin lines, so I understand that it's kind of hard to see. That should be all of those. I just need to let it dry. Why aren't you focusing? Does not focus, doesn't want to focus. Oops, that's a little bit too much. There we go. I could actually add another layer of shading there. Maybe go with a bit of a darker blue, but still add enough red so it stays purple. Guys, I'm going a little bit mad. Better. It's gone. Just look how deep and dark and rich that is. Who says that you can't go dark with watercolor? Is there a pane of glass in between or a fingerprint on the lens with the focusing? I am not sure, actually. It might even be... Let me think. Because I think I can actually improve the quality of this. Let me see. At least there should be a way. It's like the result, but the watery consistency of the pigment and me will never be friends. I can understand that. Though I also thought exactly the same way. Really should do something about that wire. Yes. Get creative. So your dogs can't ruin your internet experience anymore. Oh, I meant to. What did you want to ask? About arts. Okay. What is it? What do you need to know? What do you want to know? How can I help ya? Clip Studio Paint, my opinion. It used to be good back when perpetual licenses were still the standard for the program. At this point, considering that they pretty much throw out a new big version more, not even every year, but earlier, I'm kind of pissed. I don't like it anymore because of their monetization. Their monetization model. I do not like subscription models in the first place, because you tend to forget how much money it can accumulate. Hey, Monkey Skull. Yeah, they still do have a perpetual license, but considering that they throw out a new big version not even 1 year into the run of the current version, kind of made me go like, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. Let alone that it doesn't run on Linux anyway, so I guess I dodged a bullet. I really guess I dodged a bullet there by switching to Linux. They just lost me. That's fine. The features are great, but nothing I can't get with Krita and a few plugins. The only thing I actually miss are the vector brushes, but that's about it. That's the only thing I'm missing, and I really hope that at some point the people that are working on Krita are going like, you know what? A few people actually asked for it. How about we give it a shot to have our brush engine work on vector lines? Maybe it's going to happen, maybe it will never happen. It would be a great thing. I honestly believe Krita will have vector brushes soon. I hope so too. That would be so great. That would improve the whole the whole aspect of making comics so much. Because keep in mind, I used to come from Clip Studio Paint. I used to use the vector brushes a lot for my artwork, because I haven't gotten into digital painting back then. At least not as much. And it makes your workflow a lot quicker. Like vector brushes, the way they are implemented in Clip Studio Paint, they make your workflow go incredibly fast. Because you can just push them around as you need them. If they actually manage to put that into Krita, I already bought the Steam version, so I cannot promise that. But I would honestly consider at least donating, I don't know, like 20 bucks. And I'm not even kidding, because that would be probably worth far more to me than just the 20 bucks, but a one-time donation of 20 bucks, if they manage to get get the same vector functionality as in Clip Studio Paint, totally worth it for me. Worth more than that. Because everyone who works on Krita deserves to actually get paid for what they are doing. I'm not familiar with this graphics software, but I'm with open source software, and as far as I know, it has vector brushes. Just not the same way that Clip Studio Paint has. Like, you can use the brushes that you paint with also as vector brushes, and that's just a very different animal to work with. That's just very different than what you have on Krita. Though I have to admit the vector layer of Krita is kind of helpful for me getting my stickers going. Like, I use a vector layer on Krita to frame my stickers. And I throw that into Inkscape so I can cut that out with my plotter over there. It's a big help because I don't have to do much. A little bit of green in there, maybe. So that's going to be a lot more gray. Is it a shit? So yeah, Krita has already done me a solid. And if they can manage to do the same vector capabilities as Clip Studio Paint with the whole brush engine in it, I'm going to donate. That's something that I will promise. I'm going to donate, I don't know, $20, as much as I can afford at that point. It won't be much, but it's going to be a very genuine appreciation. Because I do love the program. I do love what the community has done and how enthusiastic they are discussing and helping each other in the forums. That's something you won't see as much in Clip Studio Paint because there is no, or there's just very little dedicated forum in there. But if you look into the Krita artist forums, they love to help each other. They absolutely do. Considered CSB, but pricing, considered CSP, but my major cons are Pro versus EX versions and pricing, as well as Krita brushes or other OSS brushes can't be used in Clip Studio Paint, as well as their own online shop ecosystem. So Clip Studio CSP is basically a front for a shop. However, you can earn your own points by participating in the shop, so that's I think it's okay to have something like that if you can earn premium currency by actually providing your own resources. I think that's an okay idea. Basically a front for a shop. I don't like that when I don't see a point. This most advanced art program known to man. Paint. Of course. Of course, Monkey Skull just uses paint. Oh, we have ads. So we're just going to wait it out. Like in Affinity software, it was different because their shop for brushes and templates sustained a buy once perp software directly set against the monopoly. Yeah, that's something that actually got me onto that got Affinity onto my radar as well. that you had that big version that you also used to have with Clip Studio Paint, but well, they needed to turn that into a subscription model. How dare you? And they kept at it, and now it's for free. And I can use it on Linux because there are people out there that say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna make an app image that says you can use this on Linux by automating a few workarounds. And it works. It freaking works. That's exactly what you need. Especially to keep your program alive. Considering that Windows in Microsoft is basically just going down the drain, and me already being a Linux fangirl, and I'm very sorry for those who are getting fed up with that, but I cannot repeat it enough. Do the jump, switch to Linux, thank me later as soon as you got used to it, because it's not that different. It's really not that different. The files have just the same, have just a different ending. And there are ways to actually run Windows programs on a Linux PC. It might be a bit tricky here and there, but the most common programs, you can run them on the Linux, no big deal. Just have to get the workaround running. And even that usually is pre-installed in most distros. We are back from the ads. Okay, that was the Linux rant of the day. Join the Penguin cult if you like your sanity and still want to go insane. I'm not the type to advertise things like this, so I'll describe it another way. There is a good website where you can find DIY solutions. Yeah. That's a way to put it. You could be vegan too. Oh, no. Also, I don't use Arch, by the way. I don't. I'm a Debian-based person because stuff would literally not work if I would use an Arch-based distro. Especially my screen tablet, because its driver is you only get a Debian-based one. That tablet is old enough that Linux wasn't even a very distant thought. And it's not getting supported anymore, or there are no big updates. Wait. There are no big updates to the drivers of my screen tablet. I have considered actually getting a new one. Because if you would be vegan, you would never shut up about either Linux or veganism. You have a point. You have a point. All of my work revolves around Microsoft products, so it's a no-go zone for me. Company policy and all that. Wanna guess what my background in Cyberpunk? Of course it's corpo. But Monkey Skull, there is still options. There are alternatives out there. They're even compatible with Windows stuff. To a degree. Of course. Green path. My favorite one of the Hollow Knight OST. Can listen to that for hours. No, I've also heard from the same person that made that absolutely beautiful Secret of the Forest cover. I've also seen a cover or heard a cover from Green Path. That was absolutely beautiful. I just got goosebumps. And I love when I'm getting the goosebumps. You only use Microsoft because of anti-cheat. Then my condolence that you even consider playing those games that have kernel level and anti-cheat. But you brought it also onto yourself. I'm not a big multiplayer gamer, so that was a no-brainer for me. Vegan Linux users are constantly on a mission to perpetually annoy everybody. I knew a few of those. I locked them into an open air hall with others of their kind. They ran out of air, talking about their two favorite topics to another. God damn it, John! Why are you like this? Ah. You are an evil, evil man. Linux gaming is real, but not for lol. Yeah, sorry, but the penguin does not belong in the salt mines. Not even as punishment. The penguin does not belong in the salt mines. Basically, everything is salt. That's why you like me. Yeah, I have to admit. It's kind of fun. If it runs Warframe, I don't care. Can be a calculator, I wouldn't flinch. If you can manage to run Warframe on a calculator, then I'd be impressed. That has to be a really damn expensive calculator to run Warframe on. All on Steam runs on Linux. Yesn't. A few multiplayer games do not. At least as far as I remember. But yeah. If you can run it on Steam, you also can run it on Linux most of the time. Even managed to get RPG Maker games to work on Linux at this point. Which is going to be a huge leap of nostalgia because I was very deep into playing RPG Maker games back in the 2000s. A Steam Machine is Linux, for example, though I would recommend you just find your distro. Find your distro. Do the leap. This needs a bit more contrast here. Do the leap. Thank me later. Damn you all, these RAM prices are insane. That's exactly the point why I want people just to go to Linux. And don't bother with the rest. You also save RAM. Because guess what? It eats up less. There is so much bloat in Windows that it eats up like, I don't know, like 6 GB of RAM. Yes, Linux uses RAM too, indeed, but not as much. It does not feed on my RAM, it's just taking a nibble. And it's alright. I don't need 4 or 6 gigs of RAM to run my operating system without anything else running. It's fine if it has 2 gigs. It is absolutely fine. Like right now, the lion's share of my RAM is probably dedicated to my browser. At this point, or right now. My Windows is completely free of telemetry or AI stuff. My Linux is too, and that out of the box. There's software where you can build that yourself, and it's legal. So is Linux. Completely legal. I fail to see the problem. I really fail to see the problem. Just because it has a mascot? Just because it's different? Because it's not made by a big old company? Chris Titus tool. Oh yeah, wasn't that guy also a Linux guy? If I remember correctly, something along those lines. I think he was. Or he is still. I'm fine with my PC. I'll use it until the end of time, or it goes boom. Yeah, depends on what's going to happen in the future. I mean, if my RAM just dies on me, well, then it is what it is. I want to get a bit more red in here. I'm trying to do a few finer lines. The more layers I put on, the more details I can also add. Also, watercolor is a really dumb medium if you want to get done with something, because you're never done. By the way, I'm running 3 Linux distros and with 11 simultaneously. You are crazy, warlocks. You are crazy. I'm happy with my 1 distro that I'm running. I don't need much more. And the guys from PikaOS are just super nice and super helpful. I guess that's why I chose them. Or the fact that they actually advertised that DaVinci Resolve is working out of the box, which doesn't anymore, sadly. But I'll figure something out. I always figure something out. Maybe I just have to annoy a few people. But it probably won't be Arch, right? Nope. Nope, nope. I will never ever touch... well, apart from my Steam Deck, of course. I will never touch an Arch-based distro. Because this thing needs a Debian-based one. Else the drivers won't work. Which is fine. Yeah, the only thing that's Arch-based, by the way, in my household is my Steam Deck. And that's okay. It's built that way. Also kind of happy that I got one before they were sold out. Got me my Steam Deck when I think that was last year or last year for my birthday. Like, I actually ordered it on my birthday. I just had to wait for it. I do not regret that decision. Quite the contrary. It's a great mobile workstation. Maybe I do want a very light red on the lips. Tails, Soren, and Arch are the best in my opinion. Maybe Kali. Kali is great for people that actually have to conceal themselves. At least I think that that was one of those quote-unquote hacker distros. Especially if you're living in a region that is a bit more dangerous when you're a journalist or basically a truth teller, calling out the powers that be, then Kali would probably be your safest bet. If it's the distro I'm thinking of course, because I might be mixing up something there. You take Tails there, ah. To be fair, I haven't heard of that one yet. What do you think? I think it's already kind of done. At least it's close to being done. Right, very, very light pink. I'll just let it dry a little bit. Then I'll take a piece of tissue. Just dab it away because I really just want a very, very faint pink right there. That's all I wanted. Tails is used, for example, in North Korea or the darknet and runs or boots from USB. Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking about. I think Kali has the same kind of Merkmale. My brain's just farting right now. I have no idea what Merkmal of in English is. Features. Thank you very much, John. I had a really bad brain fart there, right? Shit happens. But yeah, I think this is looking great. Maybe even... No. I need you. 0.1. I like it. I'll keep it. Kali is more or less raw Linux. Oh, command line. Yeah, then I'm out anyway. Now it just needs to finish drying. It's really just that little spot there that's not quite dry yet. I think the rest is pretty cool. Not quite sure what to change here to add. Kind of tempted to do a little bit of an experiment, but I am so worried that I might mess it up that I rather not. And that's still a little bit too flat. But what I could do... It's going to be a bit of a risky maneuver. Actually, it gives it a little bit more depth. Avocado spread bagels with broccoli cheddar soup. That sounds great. That sounds like a great meal. I love that. And maybe, just maybe, if there's still enough water in there, maybe add a little bit. Just for shits and giggles. Take a little bit of the red. And I'll plop it right in the middle. Spread it out a bit. Not too much, just a little bit. Just to give it a little something something. Yeah, I actually like that. That very tiny drop of red, it gives it a little bit more. A little pizzazz. So it doesn't look too flat. I approve. I very much approve. Now that has to dry, but I'll just take my shortcut. So I'll quickly mute myself and I'll see you on the other. Still looks good. That's a big... John. Thank you, monkey. I'm also quite happy about it. So we want to do the kodamas too? Anyone want to do the kodamas? These guys? Because we still have some time left. Still got some time to kill. So might as well just do that as well. Just need to tape it down. And get this off of my table. But yeah, if you want to have a closer look. Love that one. And the eye actually looks pretty nice. The other two, to be fair, they're an afterthought. I sketched those two and was really happy with it, and then I thought, kinda want to turn that into a sticker sheet, but yeah, as you can see, it's good enough. I like it the way it is, and those guys are just adorable. So, I actually wanted to print the sketch right onto the watercolor paper, but that just didn't work. It's too thick. My printer didn't want to do that. My printer really didn't like the thickness of the girth of my paper. The girth. All right, so let's tape that down. This time I'll tape it down before I start the color, so it doesn't warp on me like crazy like that one. She said girth. Yes, I said girth. It's a hard to pronounce word. It's a pretty hard word. Hehe. Hehe. Painter's tape, the joy and the bane of my existence, because if I don't remove it right, it's just going to rip apart my whole paper, and I really hate that. But if it comes off right, god damn it, is that satisfying. When it comes to paper, I'm actually not really picky. The only thing that is a minimum for me when it comes to a sketchbook, it has to have at least 100 grams per square meter in weight. Because then I can do at least light watercolor washes and I don't have to worry. I'll put my phone up a little more. There we go. Was allowed to have sturdy paper as a child. The other part of why my watercolor works were never... Yeah, to be fair, the stuff you get as a child that is called watercolor paper, it's just big printer paper. It's not worth it. If you want good watercolor paper, especially if you want to have a lot of layers, my personal recommendation, go for 300 grams per square meter. It is going to save you so much grief because you can layer, you can use whatever medium you like, except for oil paints, because you have to kind of coat your paper to make that work, but that's a completely different story. Can recommend wood painter's tape if you can get your hands on it. It's best tape ever. Honestly, if I had the choice, I'd love to have like washi tape that is about yay thick. Because washi tape is easy to remove. You don't have to use a hairdryer or a blow dryer or something to get it off. Because the adhesive is not that bad. It's usually the adhesive that's kind of ruining my life. But I'd look out for it. I think No, that's 3M. Never mind. I thought I actually had a roll of wood. Apparently not. Or maybe I did. But I threw it away because I couldn't work with it. Ah! Alright, let's clean that up. Because we need a very different color palette there. Just so you can see what kind of colors I was using though. It's almost half gone. Also something that I have actually moved with. A whole roll of industrial paper towels. That stuff has saved me so much. Like that, you know your kitchen paper towels. They're nothing. They're nothing against this stuff. Because you can clean so much with it. And I still have about half a roll of that stuff just over there. I've been using that for years. It still hasn't run out. Can't be happier than that. If that roll ever runs out, I'm just going to figure out how to order a new one because it's just... I love this roll. I love that. I love those paper towels. They're great. They're thick. They take on so much liquids. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Industrial paper towels. I will not miss them. I don't want to miss them. They're too great. Too good. Okay, enough. Question is, what do I do here? What do I do here? I could start with the stuff that needs to get color one way or another. That would be an option. So I could start with the greens. Then I could do red for that little cup here, and maybe some brownish gray for those rocks. Yeah, I think I can do that. So let's start with the greens, because we did that last time as well. Question is, how vibrant do I want that green to be? Oh! Give me a second. False alarm! False. Ah! When did that happen? I mean, that needs to be green anyway, so I don't worry about that. Just annoying when it happens. Hmm. Let's make that brown. Because why not? I also want those stripes up there to be brown. I'm not quite sure if I can do that with this brush, because I need to be rather precise. I think that works. Good. So we have that in brown, and then the rest of the bowl is going to be red. Kind of want to have that brown with a little bit of a very tiny tinge of blue for the rocks right here. Still want to have it quite brown, so and I do want to fill the whole thing with this light-ish brown gray so that I can put on top a second layer of about the same color to give the illusion that the water is kind of diluting the color in there. That's how you could say it. I could also put a layer of greenish blue on top. Not sure if that's ideal though. Also, I forgot to record again. Gonna go mad one day because I keep forgetting to record. Then I want to have just a little bit of that brown in here. A little bit, I said, not the whole 9 yards. We still want to keep it red. Just hope that that red is not too... I think I can work with that. It's actually pretty nice. Wish I had a lipstick in that color. Oh, it fit me perfectly. Now that thin stripe down here, that's going to be hard. What are these? Kodama! Never heard of them? They're little forest spirits. Also, does the bowl head have a mustache? No, that's its... I only know Krogs. I mean, technically Krogs are kind of inspired by Kodama. But Kodama are Japanese forest spirits. I might be a little bit of a weeb. I have to admit. I guess the most weebish thing I have done was thanking a guy in Japanese at an okonomiyaki stand because it just felt right and because the food was way too good. Yeah, that is a mouth indeed. How the hell do you actually think that's a mustache? Hi, Quantum! Oh, you're super busy. Then thank you for at least stopping by. You also stopped by Jeezy's, just say hello from me, okay? Oh, also the 7-day watch streak. Nice. Because I did not understand or parse the anatomy right. Yeah, happens. I mean, I'll probably stop by Jeezy's after stream anyway. Mustachio acquire. That one hurts! Quantum! Ow! Ow! That one hurt hard! That one was painful. I love it. Keep doing that. I guess I'm a little bit of a masochist because I love being hurt by your words. That one goes right into my book. Yeah, I already thought so. I mustachio. Oh. In before there's a sister of that with a pistachio. Also find it quite hilarious when someone says, I must ask you a question. Like someone's just putting an axe into your head and that's the question. It hurts in so many levels, especially if you are a non-native speaker that kind of holds him or herself to a bit of a too high of a standard, especially for being a non-native speaker. I guess that's a very German trait to have. Some people tend to spoon people in the summer, no questions asked. You had to go there. You really, really had to go there, huh? And hurt me like this. The pain is immeasurable. Please go on. Oh, you kind of have to be... to be a masochist to be a streamer. Let's be honest. Let's be fair. You have to be a masochist to be a streamer. Else you wouldn't survive this. Alright, we're having ads in a little bit. In the meantime, this can dry. And I can do a little bit of tidying up. If my shelf lets me. I think there's something in the way. Go back to where you came from. Ah! Oh, whoops. All right. Some stuff is back in its place. I'm kind of tempted to call it a day now, but we're far from done. There is watercolor stuff on my desk, and I kind of want to finish it before I actually call it a day. We got ads. In the meantime, I'm gonna do some tidying up so I can have a bit more room on my desk again. Oh, that's a nice blue. All right, much cleaner now. And ads are also almost over. So timing couldn't be better. All right. Whoops. There we go. Much better. Also cleaned up a little after that little mishap. I picked up a really nice piece. See that blue? Kind of like that. Gonna keep it in case I'll need it. All right, where were we? Oh yeah, this. I think I have an idea on how to color these. Because in the game Neo, they were actually kind of like forbidden gummy bear, I guess. They were kind of like shimmering in a bit of a yellowish green. And I actually made one illustration. Let me see if I can find it. Because I did that one in markers. So that might actually still exist. So let me see if I can find it. Nope. Nope. Can't find it right now. I cannot find it right now. I'm sorry. I wish I could, but I guess it was not meant to be. All right, let's finish this. Or maybe I can... Oh god, do I have to dig into my DeviantArt just to find that one? Hold up. Maybe I'm lucky, but I kind of doubt it. Should be here somewhere. But when did I do that one? No, 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 no. Could be in here. Maybe. Just need to find the right year. Because I've sorted my scans by year. Did I already live there when I made that one? Nah. Couldn't be earlier though. Found it! Found it! That was my first time actually doing stuff with markers. Later Kodama. I kind of want to have it similar to that. I think I can actually pull that off. Just need to work a little bit differently than with alcohol markers, but I think I can do that. Like if you see the little glow and the green, I should be able to actually pull that off with watercolors. So what I need is a very, very light wash with I guess very light wash with a mix of that green and yellow, lots of water, very little color, and then I'll go around the edges with a bit of a thicker mix of the two. That should actually do it. So how about I throw that onto the screen as a little inspiration and reference, so that we can do something quite similar. Kind of happy that I still found that one. So let's see if I can actually do that. I'm pretty confident. Especially if I'm looking at the green. It's already getting pretty close when I dilute it. So I might not even need that, that yellow with it. I definitely need a lot of water for that. There we go. I think that should be good enough. So technically I could probably just work with that one green. I don't even need the yellow. Though I would have to use gouache for the lights. Since they are shimmering themselves. Oh, we could do that next time. Speaking of effects, do you know that old man from Japan who can mix the exact color shade just by looking at a sample card? There are monsters like that out there. I by far am certainly not one of them. Though I'd love to be. Just like that. And I have to take away some of the color in the middle. Because we do want to keep that hollow shininess. But kind of need to add at least a little bit more color on those parts that might have a bit of a roundness to them. Anything where you can find folds, I should probably add a bit more color. Now, to be fair, being able to mix colors just from seeing them takes a lot of practice once you understand how colors and color mixing works. You're probably wondering, why does that one Spirit have white eyes instead of black ones or hollow ones like these. I just felt it looked better with the black hair. And I see that they can't do that with a computer at the hardware store. I find that quite impressive. I mean, I'm pretty sure these people at the hardware store only do that to pay their bills. As rough as it might sound, when you're working at a hardware store, you're just there to pay your bills. But if you are a dedicated paint maker, that thing is a calling. If you produce something with the enthusiasm that you can sell it, like me and my art, for example, that's a calling. That's definitely a calling. All right. So yeah, I might actually mix a little bit of gouache in here. Grandpa certainly isn't doing that for nothing. Oh yeah. Can very much agree on that. But yeah, if you have that kind of skill, then you can pretty much bet on it that there's also a shit ton of dedication behind it. Dedicated training and a lot of trial and error. I mean, he makes special colors like Veyron Blue from... Veyron! From Bugatti. Impressive. If you can actually go and make brand colors to a T just by looking at them. As I said, takes a lot of dedication to get there. No, stop it. Stop it! I mean, I might. At least the inside of it should be fine to paint. Don't want to do the outside though. Oh, that leaf just looks so juicy. Looks so juicy! Why? Why does it look so juicy? Why does it have to be the juice? The juice! Alright. Still want to add a little bit more darkness to those stones there, so might need to mix a little bit more of the brownish. I don't want to use that brush. I'll just do it. Brownish gray, so a little bit of blue here. Yeah, it should already. Too dark. Better. Still a little too dark, but I think I can work with it. Did I forget to record again? You know what? Fuck it. This one's not gonna be recorded. At this point, I'm just getting mad that I forgot to hit that damn button. How about never pause the recording? John? I don't have that much room on my hard drive. I don't have that much room. Like I'm currently running on how much do I have left? Like 160 gigabyte of 1 tera? That ain't much. And recording video is still quite bulky. It hasn't changed much. NAS is the solution. Yeah, give me the money for it. Gives me the money for it, then I can have one. I do not have some monies. I wish I could just do that. Gives me the human monies. $100? I've already bought so much. I mean, I could look into it, but right now it doesn't look too great. Especially because I want to spend some money on other more important things. Could technically use the same gray also at the top of that little washcloth here. I'm actually tempted to use some wash to maybe get a little bit of a shiny effect right where our little kodamas are. Maybe I also need to think about it a little bit. You know what? I'll be calling it a day here. I think I got enough. I had enough arting today. And I'll think about this if I want to continue on stream or not. Not quite sure yet. Maybe I'll just finish it off stream. Tomorrow will be my day off as always. I'll hopefully see you on Thursday if nothing's coming up. However, I hope you had fun. I certainly had a lot of stuff to do, so I kind of had fun. And I'll see you next time. Just look at this beauty. It's looking great. Until then. Squigums, you're late! See you back on Thursday. Bye-bye.